Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are now in chapter 4, the last chapter for this course. Okay. It is multiple integral. So before we go to triple integral, we are going to look into single integration first. Okay. In which it is about polar coordinates. So 4.1 is area in polar coordinates. So whatever you have studied in 1.5, the polar coordinates before this, topic 1.5, you have learned how to sketch the polar coordinates, the polar curve. Okay, so polar curve ni dia ada circle, cardioid, rose curve, macron and all that. And then you have learned also how to convert the equation from rectangular to polar and vice versa. Will be given in your final. You don't have to remember this one. Okay, so let's look into exercise 4.1. Question number 1 first. Find the area of the region enclosed by the rose curve r equals to 4 cos 3 theta. So r equals to 4 cos 3 theta. So now, if you still remember how to sketch this r equals to 4 cos 3 theta, it is you have something like this, right? Okay, because it is 3 and it is odd, so you have 3 petals. Okay, so you just have to find what is the theta here, the theta here, and the theta here to sketch. Okay. Is it important to sketch? No, but then by sketching, it will help you to find the angle. Okay. If not, then you can always use r equals to 0 lah, and then you will find this angle. Alpha A to alpha B, let's say. So let r equals to 0. I will have 4 cos 3 theta equals to 0. Use your calculator. Okay. Remember, for polar coordinates, in our course, you have to always use radian. Okay. Do not use degree. So we'll have pi over 2. So your theta is pi over 6. Okay, so this one is pi over 6, obviously. So this one will be negative pi over 6. Okay, so this theta is equal to 0. Okay, so when the question asks to find the area of the region enclosed by the rose curve, means it asks you to find all the petals, all the 3 petals. So you have few ways on how to do this. Okay, depends on what angle you take. Okay, for example, untuk area, kan dia punya formula A equals to 1/2. This R is the function of the polar curve. R equals to f theta, the function of the polar curve. Okay, so area A equals to 1/2. Let's say I choose to take from 0 until pi over 6. It's easy when I start with 0. Okay, I always like to start with 0. If 0 is on the area that you want to find lah, except that 0 is outside the area, then you cannot start with 0 lah. Okay, kenapa senangnya kosong? Sebab bila masuk nilai banyak kosong tu senang lah kan. But then the cos 0 is not equals to 0, the cos 0 is equals to 1. But then sin 0 is equals to 0. Okay, so it's easy when you start with your calculation with 0 lah, your limit of 0. And then your R here is this function, which is 4 cos 3 theta squared d theta. Okay, what else? You have to multiply with some numbers. Okay, because if I take from 0 to pi over 6, it is only calculate half of the, which is this one, the blue one, half of my petals. So I have to times 6 to get all the petals. Okay, so this one lah yang saya kata, it depends on what angle that you take. Contoh, kalau awak ambil negative pi over 6 until pi over 6, you only have to multiply with 3. Okay, because negative pi over 6 until pi over 6, you already got your one petal. So to find all other petals, you just times 3. Okay, 4 squared will be 16 cos squared 3 theta d theta. Okay, solve the square first. Okay, so 16 can be multiplied with 3, you will get 48. Okay, and then the cos squared theta, you have to use this formula. Okay, and then for sine also, there's a formula for sine, which is 1 minus cos 2 theta over. Okay, this formula is not given. It is given in terms of other identity, in which actually you can find these formulas from that identity. However, if you cannot, then you have to remember this one. Okay, so the cos squared will be 1 plus cos. Okay, if you see here, if my argument is theta, then this one will be 2 theta. So here is 3 theta, 3 times 2 lah, so it will be 6. 6 theta over 2. Yang bawah ni still 2 juga. Okay. D theta. So this one can cancel out again, 24. Then I can integrate my 1 plus cos is 6 theta d theta. So how to integrate this one? So integrate 1 will be theta plus integrate cos will be sin kan. Sebab kalau beza cos dapat negative sin. So integrate cos dapat sin saja. Dia terbalik dia punya sign positif negatif kan. So this one is not given. You have to memorize lah for yourself. So sin 6 theta. Okay, don't forget the 6 here. You have to bring downward. Okay, so substitute the value from 0 until pi over 6. This one sin 6 will be sin pi over 6. Ini yang saya kata senang tu, bila masuk kosong, kosong tambah sin kosong pun kosong. Okay, so you don't have to calculate that one. And then sin pi is 0. So we'll get what? This one will be 4 pi. This is your final answer. Find the area of the cardioid. Now the cardioid. This cardioid is on the x negative. Why? Because it's cos negative, right? So x negative should be here. Okay. And then it is R 1 minus cos theta. So this is negative 2. This is 1. This is negative 1. Right? Second quadrant is this one. Okay. And then the fourth quadrant. So fourth quadrant is this one. Okay, so for this question, the question asks a separate question, second quadrant and fourth quadrant, not second plus fourth, okay? So there are two answers. Okay, let's see the second quadrant first. Okay, if the question asks about quadrant, dia lagi senang untuk cari angle because it is always fixed. First quadrant is always from 0 until pi over 2. And then the second quadrant is always pi over 2 until pi. And then the third quadrant will be pi until 3 pi over 2. And then the fourth quadrant will be 3 pi over 2 until 2 pi. Okay, and then 1 minus cos theta squared d theta. Okay, so before you do anything, open the bracket first. It will be 1 minus 2 cos theta plus cos squared theta. Okay, and then don't forget this cos squared theta change to identity using the identity. So 1 minus cos plus 1 plus cos 2 theta over. Okay, so remember this one is not integrated yet. Okay, because we only use the identity to change the cos squared or sin squared lah. Okay, biasa student dengan ni dah integrate, ni belum integrate lagi. Okay, you have to integrate this one. So we have 3 over 2 minus 2 cos theta plus cos 2 theta over 2. So this cos theta and this cos 2 theta cannot be combined together because one of the argument is theta only and the other argument is 2 theta. So you tak boleh nak tambah dia tak akan jadi tiba-tiba cos 3 theta lah, tak. So keep it as that one. So we integrate this one will be 3 over 2 theta. Integrate cos will be sine. Integrate cos will be sine again. But then don't forget the 2 here. Okay, you have to bring it downward. So 2 bawa darab lagi 2 kat bawah tu dapatlah. So substitute from pi over 2 until pi. Okay, this 2 times pi over 2 will be pi only. Okay, so this one will be 0, this one will be 0, this one also 0. Sine pi over 2 is equals to 1. Okay, so the answer will be 3 over 4 pi minus 0 plus 2 plus 0. Okay, so that will be your answer, which is 3 over 8 pi plus 1. Okay, so for the fourth quadrant, you may try. The angle for the fourth quadrant should be from 3 pi over 2 until 2 pi. Okay. Everything else, in between ni semua sama saja macam ni. Only that you have to substitute the value from 3 pi over 2 until 2 pi. So the answer will be different. Next into question number 3. Find the area of the region inside the quadrant and outside the circle. So you have quadrant of positive cos, means positive on the x-axis. This is 4, this is 2, and this is negative 2. And then it is another circle, r equals to 3. So r equals to 3 means the radius is equals to 3. So you have something like this. Okay, so doesn't look like a circle, but just pretend it is a circle, okay? Okay, so the area of the region inside the quadrant and outside the circle is actually this one. Okay, inside the quadrant but outside the circle. So you have to find the theta here and then the theta here. Or if I start with theta equals to 0 until theta equals to v, and then I have to times my integration by 2. So a equals to 1 over 2 times 2, because I want to take from 0 until theta v. So now your function must be the outside curve minus the inside curve. So the outside curve is the quadrant. So the quadrant is 2 plus 2 cos theta squared minus, okay, the inside curve is the circle, 3 squared 2 theta. Okay, so this one must be outside minus inside. Okay, because we want to find the outside one kan. So in this part, yang ini you kena fikir sikit. Okay, but based on the question, which area that the questions want. Okay. Alright, and then we have to find the theta b now. How to find theta b? So theta b is actually, let's cari ke sini. Angle of intersection, we find angle of intersection. So we equate the quadrant 2 plus 2 cos theta with the circle equals to 3. So 2 cos theta equals to 1, cos theta equals to 1 over 2. So theta equals to up cos 1 over 2, which is pi over 3. Okay. So this one should be pi over 3. So if theta b is equals to pi over 3, then theta a must be equals to negative pi over 3. Okay, so you can find it from negative pi over 3 until pi over 3 as well. Okay. But then if you find from negative pi over 3 until pi over 3, you don't have to multiply with 2 lah, because it's already the whole area that you want to find. Okay. Okay, let us solve for this one. So ini 1/2 dengan 2 dibuang. Okay, so again, there's a square with a bracket, and I have to open the bracket first. Okay, 3 squared is 9. Simplify. So 4 minus 9 will be negative 5. So the 4 cos squared, this one also you have to change using the identity. So 1 cos 2 theta over 2 plus 8 cos theta. 4 minus 9 will be negative 5. Okay, I always like to simplify my equation first before I proceed with integration. So times 2 minus 5 will be negative 3. So we have 2 cos 2 theta plus 8 cos theta minus 3. Then I can integrate. Okay. Again, remember this 2 theta and this theta cannot be combined together. So tak boleh tambah. So be as it is. Okay, so the integrate cos, I will have 2 sine 2 theta. Don't forget to bring the 2 to become the denominator. And then 8 cos theta will be x sine theta minus 3 theta. And it is from 0 until pi over 3. And minus the 0. So again, sine 0 is 0. And then another sine 0 is 0. And then 3 times 0 is also 0. So everything here is 0. So just calculate for the first term. So we have 9 square root 3 over 2 minus 1. Or you can always write down in terms of decimal point numbers. So you have 4.6526, for example. Okay. Okay, so let us proceed with question number 4. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So different questions. So basically, that's it for polar coordinates lah. Memang itu sajalah polar coordinate ni, to find the area in polar coordinates. Okay. So you have to, first of all, you have to determine the angle. So angle tu kena pastikan macam mana nak dapat, sama ada kena jadikan kosong ke atau kena cari intersection ke. So it depends on the questions lah. Okay. So for question 4a, the area enclosed by the circle r equals to 2, r equals to negative 3, and r equals to 4 sine theta. So it is also it is all a circle. So for the first one is actually this one, right? So you have a circle of radius 2. So A equals to 1 over 2, 0 until 2 pi lah, because the question does not restrict on any quadrant. So dia nak semua. So semua tu maksudnya kosing ke 2 pi. So the R is 2, 2 squared in theta. So ni senang je ni. So 2 theta sehingga 2 pi. Dan dapat 2 pi product kosong, which is 4 pi. And then for B is also very much similar. You have R equals to negative 3. Okay, negative 3 is also actually a circle of radius 3. Okay, so A equals to 1 over 2, 0 until 2 pi. Okay, but now your R is negative 3, but then when squared, the negative will be positive. So, darab 9, darab theta, this is 9, 0 until. So 9 over 2 pi. So we have 9 pi. Okay, however, for question R equals to cosine theta, it is a circle on the sine y lah kan, circle on the y axis only. Okay, does not touch on the x axis lah. Y axis positive. Why is it positive? Because sine positive kan. Okay, so you have all this. So again, for this one, it is not in 0 to 2 pi. Dia bukan kosong hingga 2 pi. Kenapa? Kosong hingga 2 pi tu dia mesti meliputi kuadran 1 hingga kuadran 4. From 1 until 4. However, this one is only occupied the first quadrant and second quadrant only. Dia cuma occupy first quadrant and second quadrant, which is from 0 until pi lah. Okay, and that's why the angle, you have to very careful with the angle. Okay, so sine will be 1 minus cos. Kalau cos tadi 1 plus. Okay, so kalau sine is 1 minus. Okay, so we get 4 pi minus sine 2 pi. Sine 2 pi over 2 is 0. Minus 0 minus 0, 0 ni. Okay, so we have 4 pi. This is sine 2 pi is also 0. Okay, so not all circles are from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, tak semua circle tu pada kosong hingga 2 pi. Sebab you kena tengok dia occupy pada which quadrant. So for example, if this circle, okay, so it is actually from negative pi over 2 until pi over 2. Daripada bawah ni sampailah atas tu. Amen. Okay, another example. Let's say I have this circle. Okay, negative sign ni. So the angle would be, this is pi, right? So this is pi, this. So it is pi until pi. So this is pi, this is 2 pi. Okay, it is still a full circle. However, the circle does not occupy the quadrant, the whole quadrant. So angle must depends on quadrant. Okay. Okay, let's look into question in 4A, B, C. Oh, sorry, this is 4A. Everything is 4A. Because 4A, these are the 3 soalan. Okay. And for B, steering close by the quadrant. Okay, yang ni saya bagi angle saja lah sebab kita dah tengok dah quadrant ni. So 2 cos 2, this is cos. Cos is negative, x. So the A should be 0 until pi, because the question wants everything. try. So this one would be, this is another question. A equals to 1 over 2 again, 0 until 2 pi, because it occupies all the quadrant. 3 plus 3 squared. Okay, let's try it. And then for 4C, 4C ni pun sama lah ni. Okay, but then third quadrant. So as I mentioned before, kalau third quadrant means dia spesifik nak kat sini. Sini adalah daripada pi hingga 3 pi per 2. Okay, so spesifik. Jadi tak perlu nak fikir daripada mana ke mana lah. Second quadrant, the sign, okay, but then second quadrant is second quadrant. Second quadrant will be here, okay. So from pi over 2 until pi. Okay, the question, the curve function is 3 plus 3 sin theta squared d theta. And then for E, the area of the roses are equal to 2 cos 2 theta. The area of the roses, so you have to find all the petals and then times how many petals there are. Okay, so actually for even function of rows, okay, for even function of rows curve, contoh macam ni even kan, even, and then the question asks you to find all the area. Okay, you can always take from 0 to 2 pi directly. Okay, so you may try for this one. And then the other one is r equals to sine 4 theta. So this is also even. Okay. However, for the odd function, r equals to 2 cos 3 theta, okay, you cannot check directly from 0 to 2 pi. Because it does not always give you the correct answer. Okay, you have to find for the petals. Sebab untuk 3 theta ni, dia ada ruang actually. Untuk 4 theta, untuk even, sebab kalau even, kita akan doublekan dia punya petals kan. So, 2 dia akan double dapat 4. Tapi kalau untuk odd, kita tak double. So, 3 lah juga. So, yang tak double tu actually, dia ada ruang missing space lah kat situ. In which, if you do like this from 0 to 2 pi, the answer would be wrong. Okay, so how to do this question of odd? Macam yang tadi saya tunjuk tu lah. Okay, you have to find the angle for one petal first and then times lah berapa petals yang ada. Contoh macam ni, should be have 3 petals kan. Okay, 3 petals. And then these 3 petals is actually starting from this lah. Okay, so you have to find this one. Theta equals to whatever it is, and then this one theta equals to this. Okay, so you may try by referring to question number 1. Okay, try refer to Q1. Sama lah juga untuk the R equals to 4 cos 5 theta. And now the 5 theta is also odd. Okay, so dia ada 5 theta kat situ, 5 petals kat situ. Dia 5 petals. Okay, so you let R equals to 0 first, and then 4 cos 5 theta will be 0, cos 5 theta will be 0. So 5 theta will be equals to cos 0, which is Again, pi over 2. Okay, so your theta start from the pi over 10. Okay, so this cos kan, dia akan start macam ni. Okay, so this is the pi over 10. Okay, so let's say if you want to find from 0 until pi over 10, you have to multiply with this 0 pi over 10 is only half. Okay, it has 5 petals, so dia kena darab 2, multiply with 10 lah. Darab dengan 10 lagi. Faham eh? 0 to pi over 10. Because pi over 10 ni kalau saya ambil kosong hingga pi over 10, saya cuma ambil half of the petals. But then this, dia ada 5 petals kan? 5 darab 2 lah untuk dapatkan satu petal satu lagi. Full you times 10 and then this one will be 4 cos 5 theta squared d theta. So you may try find the answer for this one. The area of the roses are equals to 2 cos 2 theta in the third quadrant. Okay, the E is the whole quadrant just now, but then this one is only in the third quadrant. So actually dia macam ni lah. Okay, kita tak perlu nak fikir panjang. If it's third quadrant, so it is actually this part lah. So pi until 3 pi over 2. So yang ini saja yang kita nak. Okay, so A is equals to 1 over 2 from pi until 3 pi over 2 cos 2 theta squared d theta. Okay. Because it's 3 theta, it has 3 petals. Okay. And then the second quadrant and third quadrant. Second quadrant is here. So it has to find this one, and third quadrant is here. So it has to find this one. Right, find for this cross curve. Okay, last question, question number 5. Sketch and find the area of the region outside the quadrant but inside the circle in the first quadrant. Sketch. Okay, first of all, the question has to sketch together r equals to 2. Quadrant r equals to 2 minus 2 cos theta. So minus 2 cos theta is exposed, negative lah. So sini 2, sini pun 2, di sini 4. Okay, sini negative 4, sini 2 sama, sini 2 sama. Okay, so A, sketch and find the area outside the quadrant, but inside the circle in the first quadrant only. So outside the quadrant, but inside the circle. So this one lah. Okay, so this is A. B is sketch and find the area of the region outside the circle. Outside the circle, but inside the quadrant. Okay, outside the circle. So B yang besar ni. Okay. And then C, sketch and find the region inside both the circle and the quadrant and the third quadrant. Okay, so C yang ini sajalah. So you have 3 area that the questions, one question asks you to find. Okay, so the A should be 0 until pi over 2. Okay, so it has 2 functions, you have 2 curves. Okay, so to find the area for A, it should be the circle minus the quadrant. And circle is what? Circle is 2 squared minus the Okay, so we try. And then for B, pi over 2 until 3 pi over 2. Okay, so again the outside is the quadrant, so quadrant minus the circle. Balik pula lah. And then C is what? C is from pi until 3 pi over 2. And then it only occupies the circle actually, right? Okay, so you don't have to minus anything. It's only occupies the circle. So the circle is 2 squared. Okay, that's it for 4.1, the area in polar coordinates. Okay, so let's go further into 4.2. 4.2 is apa? Double integral now. It is double integral. However, we are looking into rectangular region only. So rectangular region is the easiest one because the limit is only a constant limit. Okay. Okay, when the question asks to sketch the region, okay, actually it asks you to sketch this region lah. This is R. Region R. Kalau 2D kita panggil dia region R. Okay, do not sketch this one. This is what we call integral. Okay. So actually we have to sketch the region R, not the integral. So kalau sketch region R ni, okay, so what it means by dy dx, now double integral. So I have double and then fxy and then dA. So this dA, dia ada dua. For now, you akan tengok dua. Sebenarnya dia ada lagi lah, tapi sekarang kita akan tengok dua saja, which is either dy dx or dx dy. Okay. Okay, actually it's very easy. Kalau dy ni, maksudnya awak akan gerak untuk tengok awak punya limit is from y kan, it's all along the y-axis. So daripada bawah ke atas. For x, daripada kiri ke kanan, because it's along x-axis. Okay, so you are going to solve the inner integration first, which is the dy first, and then dx. For this example, dy first, and then second will be dx. So when you want to sketch, you have to look into dy. Dahululah senang. Okay, maksudnya sekarang y ni kat sini kan, and then this is x. Y, bila awak jalan daripada bawah, awak akan jumpa y equals to 0. Okay, tengok limit ni. Limit tu adalah 0,3, 0,1. Tapi yang dy ni adalah for this one, and then dx is for this one. Okay, so y equals to 0 first, and then y equals to 3. Y equals to 0 is actually garis ni lah. And then y equals to 3, katalah sini 3, you ada garis ni. Okay, so this is y equals to 3, this is y equals to 0. Now for x, okay, you jalan daripada x pula, you akan jumpa apa? Menurut soalan ni, you akan jumpa x equals to 0. So x equals to 0, this one. Okay, the paksi y tu x equals to 0 until x equals to 1. Let's say sini x1. So sinilah 1. So this will be x equals to 1. Okay, so your region R is actually this one lah. It is a rectangular region. Okay, so for 4.2, your region is always a rectangular region in which the limits are all constant. Okay, limit all constant. Constant macam ni lah. Constant. Okay, hanya nombor saja, dia tak ada function. Nanti 4.3 baru kita akan tengok function. Okay, and then how to solve for this one? So macam saya kata tadi, you have to integrate the inner integration first, in which with respect to y. So when you want to integrate respect to y, your x is constant. So this is constant, this is also constant. So how do you integrate constant? Katalah awak ada 5, awak nak integrate terhadap dx. Awak akan dapat 5x kan? Awak darabkan saja x kat situ. Okay, samalah juga ni 5x tambah c. C is another constant lah. Okay, so for this one is also very much similar. So since 2x is constant, 1 also constant. So we multiply this 2x plus 1 with y. Okay, and then substitute the value from 0 to 3. It is also for y. Okay, x jangan kacau lagi because we didn't do anything to x, so let x be still there. Okay, we only substitute the value for y. Okay, masukkan nilai 3 dapatlah 3, masuk kosong dapat kosong, tak payah tulis pun tak apa. Okay, dx. Okay, so darablah dulu. And then you can integrate with respect to x now. So 6x squared over 2 plus 3x, which is 0 to 1. So you can dapat 3 tambah 3. Tolak kosong ke kosong lah. Okay, so you get question equals to 6. Okay, so that's how you do it. You do it one by one. Solve the inner integration first, and then you solve for the outer integration. Okay, so please look into the variable. If you want to integrate with respect to y, then x is constant. Okay, and then if your inner integration is x, you want to differentiate with respect to x, then y is constant. For example, number 2 ni, sekarang kita ada inner integration dia is x pula Okay, so we solve for x first. So y is constant. Okay, the limit is still for the outer limit still there. So y constant dulu ni constant, so biarkan je lah. Okay, contohnya kalau saya ada 5x dx, 5 ni constant kan? Okay, but then I want to integrate respect to x, I will have 5 still there, and then x squared over 2. Okay, just integrate the x. Okay, 5 constant, and then this constants attached to or multiply with the variable that you want to integrate, then the constant is still there. Okay, sama macam pembezaan hari itulah. Okay, so we only integrate the x to the power of 3, which becomes x to the power of 4 over 4. Okay, and then substitute the value from 0 until 1, the dy still there. Okay, dy tu masih ada sebab kita tak solvekan untuk y lagi, kita solve untuk x sahaja. Okay, so 1 to the power of 4 is 1, minus 0 is 0, so we get this one. And then you can solve for y. Okay, 2 to the power of 3 is 8, minus 1, 1. Okay, so kita dapat 7 over 12. Okay, so the rest pun sama lah tu Contoh soalan nombor 3. Okay, how to, what is the region of integration? So again, x, you start from x first, the x. Okay, the x, you can jumpa x equals to 0, which is, sorry, this is not dx. Dx should be from left to right. Okay, so this is x equals to 0 until x equals to 1. Let's say this is x equals to 1. And then the y is from 1 until y equals to 2. Okay, so this is your region of integration. Question number 3, pi, 2 pi, 0 pi, sine y plus cos x dy dx. Okay, so again, we integrate respect to y, so x is constant. So we'll have integrate sine y will be negative cos y plus, this is constant. Okay, so integrate constant, you just multiply with y lah. Dx is still there. Just substitute the value of pi and 0. Okay, so actually this cos pi is equals to -1, negatif dapat positif lah. So 1 tambah pi cos x. Cos 0 is equals to 1 also. So plus will be +1. And then this one will be 0. 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay. Then I can integrate respect to x now. I will have 2x plus integrate cos will be sine. Okay, just substitute the value. This is 0. This is also 0. So 4 pi minus 2 pi will be 2 pi lah. Okay, so that's a key lah actually. As long as you remember which variables is constant, which is not constant, okay, and then you substitute the value into the variables that you integrate. Again, not the one that is constant. Okay. Then, yeah, kalau nak silap pun, maybe you punya tahap atau scale integration saja yang kurang. So if you can integrate, insyaAllah this will be no problem for you. Okay, so I don't plan to look into every question. All of the questions you may try from 4 to 7 because it's all the same. Question 4, 5, 6, 7, you may try it yourself. Let's say into question number 8. Okay, 8, 9 also you can try it for yourself. Okay. It is maybe become ln, okay, because the integration of 1 over variables, okay, then it will be equals to ln. Itu kena tahu lah. Let's look into question 10. Okay, this question 10, you should use substitution. Okay, so for final, this type of integration, either substitution, biasa substitution lah, banyak soalan yang ditanya. Okay. Okay, this R is actually your region. So get that X is from 0 until 10, and then Y is from 0 until 2. Okay. So when the question just put dA, it's up to you, either you want to use dx dy or dy dx. Okay, it's really up to you lah. Okay, sometimes it is easier to use one than the other. Okay, but then it depends on the question. Dia bukan fix. Bukan dx dy itu lagi senang daripada dy dx tak. Okay, because it depends on the question and the variables lah. Okay, so for this question, sama ada you pilih dx dy ke dy dx ke sama juga. Okay, you still have to use substitution because there's x and y in the numerator and x and y in the denominator as well. Okay, so we have to use substitution. Let's say I choose to do dy dx. Then my first limit would be for y, 0 until 2. My second limit is for x, 0 until 10. So xy over square. Okay, then use substitution. Okay, we let u equals to squared plus y squared plus 3. Okay, or you can take as the hint said, taking the square root to be the substitution as well. Okay, so let's say I try for this one first. Okay, since I want to integrate respect to y, so I have to differentiate respect to y as well for the substitution. Okay, so yang ini kalau saya bezakan terhadap y, del u, del y. So x is constant, constant kosong, 2y, 3 pun constant, constant kosong. So saya akan dapat 2y dy. Okay, du sama dengan 2y dy. Atau du per 2 sama dengan y dy. Okay, so this is your y dy, in which this one will become du over 2. Okay, and then the denominator has become square root u. Okay, so we substitute everything. X is only a constant. Okay, and then this constant is multiply with the variable. So kita bawa keluar siap-siap. Okay, because we want to substitute only for the y variable kan. Okay, so y dy tadi dah jadi du per 2. And then 1 over square root u. So ini yang tinggal So this is x So dx is still there. Okay, so we solve for this one. It's 1 over 2, 0 until 10x. So this 1 over square root u is actually u over 1. U to the power of negative 1 over 2, right? Okay, so power ni, integrate power. If you have u to the power of n, you want to integrate. Okay, respect to du, it will be un plus 1 over n plus 1. Okay, tambah. And then bawa ke bawah. Okay, kalau differentiate, dia tolak, bawa ke depan kan. Yang ini tambah, bawa ke bawah So the answer would be u negative 1 over 2 plus 1 negative 1 over 2 plus 1. Okay, this 1 over 2 ni saya dah buat keluar kat sini Okay, dx still there. Okay. You cannot substitute the value 0 to 2 yet because 0 to 2 is for y. Okay, so you have to substitute back your equation into y. So u tadi sama dengan apa? Okay, 1 over 2, 1 over sini, 1 over 2. So darab akan jadi terbalik. So 1 over 2 darab 2. U adalah x squared plus y squared plus 3. And then satu terang 1 over 2 as well. Substitute 0 until 2 for y only. Untuk y saja. Okay. So we'll have what? X squared. X masih ada. And then x squared. 2 kosong 2, 4 tambah 4 tambah 7. 1 over 2 minus x squared plus 3 1 over x. Okay, so I think I have to okay. So x squared plus 7 square root plus x squared plus 3 square root dx. Okay, so this is another substitution. Okay, you tak boleh tambah yang ini, tak boleh tolak dengan ni because the argument is different. One is plus 7, the other one is plus 3. Okay, so jangan campur dia, jangan tolakkan dia. Okay, so you have to do a substitution separately. The first one is x squared plus 7 and then the other one is x squared plus 3. Ini pun sama. Okay. Actually ada je cara lagi senang nak buat ni, tapi saya tunjuk satu persatu supaya awak faham. Okay, so actually it is different in terms of macam ni lah dx and then Saya tolak lagi kat sini, tolak another function 0 until 10. So two different integration, solve the two different integration. So 1 over 2 x dx become 1 over 2, 2. So u 3 over 2, 1 over 2, 2 over 3, okay, 1 over 3, plus this one also will be 1 over 3, 2, 3 over 2. But then this is u1, this is u2, let's say. Okay, so it is different u. So this is u1, this is u2. So it will become 1 over 3, okay, substitute back, x squared plus 7 to the power 3 over 2 plus 1 over 3, x squared plus 3 to the power 3 over 3. Then again substitute the value of 0 until 10. Okay, in which we'll find dapat 10, 10, 100. Is it 10? Oh, x is from 0 to 1, not 0 to 10. 0 to okay, so sorry, saya saling soalan. Okay, so it should be 1 plus 7, 7 plus 3, 4 plus 1 over 7, 3 over 2 minus 1 over 3, 3, 3 over 2. Okay, so actually 1 over 3, 8 to the power 3 over 2 minus 7, 3 over 2 plus 4, 3 over 2 minus 3, 3 over 2. Okay, so this is the last answer. Okay, and then we'll get your answer as. Okay, question number 13 will be also the same. In between, the integrand is equals to z, right, for volume. So it is 2x squared plus 3x y squared. So you want to try solving for this one. Okay, so that's it for 4.2, and it sums up our lesson for today. Okay, and then for this week as well. Okay, and then we will have another class next week after the Raya holiday.